YouTube, I would argue, is the lowest hanging, highest requested topic lately by real
Yeah.
estate professionals. For me, I don't know about you, Tristan, but for me to come talk about it, everybody's like, hey, can you talk about YouTube? I know you're coming out here to speak about social, but can you specifically make it about YouTube? So I
Hmm.
figured, hey, we should make an entire podcast episode 145, all about the latest and the greatest things going on with YouTube. What do you say?
Let's do it, man. But the question I have for you is why? Why do you think that is? Why does everyone all of a sudden want to talk about YouTube?
Well, I think one of the reasons is the statistic that came out recently. I think it was Keeping Current Matters that said it, and I don't have it in front of me. I'll pull it up, but something to the effect of 55% of prospective home buyers, something like that, are doing searches on YouTube. And
Hmm.
so I believe, but I think between that and the just continual content from YouTube creators, specifically around real estate, who are talking about the success that they're having, is getting the attention of more people. Uh, because they're all looking for a shiny object. They're looking for some magical pill that is going to fix the issues that they're having in their business currently, which you and I both know is not going to be quick or easy. I think you and I would both agree that YouTube is probably the best platform for bottom of funnel. I think most of social media is very top or top middle of funnel, and I would say YouTube is the best middle to bottom of funnel. The statistic, by the way, is 51% of homebuyers use YouTube as their number one destination for a search. That was from NAR, actually. 51% of
Wow.
home buyers use YouTube. I think people are seeing that and they're saying, oh shit, I should jump into YouTube.
Hmm. Okay, that makes sense. So finally, NAR decides to talk about social media, and they specifically they specifically pinpoint YouTube as being the one. Interesting, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I would have to agree with you on that and say YouTube is definitely more bottom of funnel, some middle of funnel, but more bottom of funnel people actively looking. And I think that comes down to micro moments. Back in 2014, 15, Google was really talking about micro moments, creating those opportunities uh, for you to be found based on what the consumer has questions on or is urged to do. Like, hey, I want to live in this neighborhood. What does it look like to live here? Or I want to visit this place. I wonder what that neighborhood looks like, right? I have questions.
Yep.
And the closest thing to us looking as the consumer is YouTube. It's like, tell me more about it. Show me more about it,
Yep.
right? Very
Well, not
interesting.
not to mention, and I've got some stats pulled up here on the screen, but not to mention that you're hearing more and more people. And I had a coaching call this morning actually, and one of the guys on the call raised his hand and said, I actually don't watch TV anymore. I stream YouTube on my television, and I'm hearing more and more people talking about how they watch YouTube on their TV, and so
Mhm.
and this is not. I mean, I think we are still, Tristan, in infancy in terms of where the nation is in that regard, but I think you're about 2 to 3 years away from that becoming one of the most, where that's going to be the norm, and the homeowner who has cable anymore or direct TV is going to be the anomaly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I
I
think that's a
think
lot of the reason why.
yeah, I agree with you. I agree. I think it also gives you the ability to find such a much wider topic and niche down on something like YouTube, especially now that people are taking YouTube a lot more serious. So the quality of the content being recorded is so much different than it was 5, 7 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. All right, let's talk some specifics here.
Okay.
Number one, YouTube's chief product officer shared some notes on thumbnail testing and generative AI updates. You're the one that told me about the generative AI updates, and so did Austin. Tell me about that.
Well, I just thought that there was a headline that caught my attention that said that YouTube is going to begin flagging if you don't flag your AI based or built content, they will be flagging it. In other words, I think you need to make a note somehow. There's probably a box that you check that it's kind of like is this kid friendly, those kind of things. And I think I
Mm.
I believe reading between the lines that YouTube, I think all social platforms, I think all platforms in general are going to reward human generated content over AI generated content. I think this is going to become the new norm, that these platforms are designed to sniff this out. And it doesn't say this, Tristan, but I think suppress your content if you're cheating. I
I
called it
like that.
cheating. I called it cheating. I don't know that you really. I mean, you're using. I think using AI is incredibly important. But if you think you're going to use AI to replace you, I think you're going to be sorely mistaken. I think it's going to cost you. So you got to figure out how to use AI to make yourself more efficient, like with ideas, like with scripting, and like with maybe some imagery. But if you think
Mhm.
AI is going to replace you, I think you're going to screw yourself.
On that note, the second part of that article that we were mentioning with AI and content that's AI driven or created is going to be penalized. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is, you're right. Let's focus on creating content with AI that doesn't remove us from the equation. So, for instance, the second piece to that was this piece. Let me grab it right now. It's on our YouTube channel. By the way, if you're not part of our YouTube channel, jump in. It's Drunk on Social. Let me grab this. I think it was. So if you can, let me grab it. There it is. YouTube launches first stage of thumbnail A/B testing, and look what you can do here. The ability for you to upload three different thumbnails and then let the audience and the algorithm decide which one is driving more eyeballs to your content. That's important, man. Look at this. For those of you watching right now, I have a section here. It says your test report, shows three thumbnails that are being tested, and one is the winner. It even says winner because it drove 43.2% watch time over the bottom two. And we've been talking about thumbnails and the importance of thumbnails since we discovered the importance through Jimmy, which was Mr. Beast. He's been telling us that it's been important. It is extremely important. It continues to be the way that people find your content, either appealing or they skip through it. After that, they start reading the title. So I think that's really awesome, man. This is so, so, so cool because I hate having to change my thumbnails. I'm like, hey, should I change it? Should I not? This is a no-brainer. I'm glad they finally did it.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah. I
you
mean,
think about that?
no, I love it. Any A/B testing, because A/B testing, I think, is what sets apart top creators, because it's not easy to do. It's time consuming. And the apps building these things in, like Instagram and YouTube as well, with A/B testing of captions, I think is incredibly awesome. I still think it's going to take a level of non-laziness, because I think a lot of lazy people are going to be like, I don't feel like typing two captions, or I don't feel like creating two thumbnails. Well, I mean, they
Well,
couldn't
that's what
make it
AI
any
is
easier
there
for you.
for, right?
Well,
You
also
mentioned
true.
AI. That's why
Yeah.
it's there, dude.
Yeah.
Like go
Yeah.
go to ChatGPT. I don't know if you've seen this. This is a side note, but have you seen ChatGPT's option for Canva? Here,
Um,
I'm just gonna pop
no,
it up.
no.
Canva, here we go. I was playing around with it earlier. So here I am, ChatGPT, OpenAI, Canva. There, that's the GPT for Canva. I'm gonna just type in make me three thumbnails for a video about the NAR settlement. Let's go there. Settlement in 2024, specific to a real estate audience. Let's see what it tells me. I don't know that it would know at 2024 because um, it can't pull off of that, but I'm hoping that Canva will be able to at least grab that and create options. Okay, so it is. Check this out. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
I should have been more specific because it looks like it's making me Instagram thumbnails, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but if I could reword it, let's go back to rewording it and saying thumbnails, 3 YouTube thumbnails. And I'm going to copy that and just restart from the bottom. Go boom, boom, done. And now I'm typing in make me 3 YouTube thumbnails for a video about the NAR settlement in 2024, specific to a real estate audience. It has Canva. Canva's plugin is thinking, and we're hoping that it comes up with 3 nice little options. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh, at least it came up with a YouTube graphic. But let's say we use these 3 and now we're able to plug them into the A/B test. It's giving me 4, 5. Oh, this is easy. I like the 5th one. I kind of like the 4th one, right? But dude, this is how easy it's gotten. This to me is nuts, right? That's pretty sick.
You know what I took away from that? I didn't
Tell me.
realize that you could add that Canva to your
Plugin?
sidebar like that. I did that while you were doing that. Like, huh, I never even realized that. I never explored Chat GPTs before, or the GPTs before. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you
I
can,
hope you
by
were
the way,
watching that.
you can click on the link that it gave you, or even click on the PD on the little graphic. It'll take you to Canva, and you can modify it all you want.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I just have an assistant now working for me doing this. This is crazy.
Yeah. I don't mean to digress, but I traveled last week. I had a conversation, and I call it that. I call it a conversation with ChatGPT on the plane, to the point that at the end I even said, you're amazing, and it responded, but dude, I need to share what I pulled. I saw some realtor.com headline, and then I pulled all this data to create a post, which I'm going to do. I couldn't believe it. And I just kept asking follow-up questions. Like, one of the responses, like, I don't understand what you mean by that. And I literally said that. And it even said, yeah, you're right. I guess I wasn't very clear. Like, it literally like
It
having a
makes you feel good. You're like,
conversation,
oh, thank you.
dude. It was incredible. I was like sitting on the plane. I'm sure the person sitting next to me, because I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? This is
That's
amazing.
funny.
It was so cool.
That is so funny, man. I like that. All right, next piece. Here's an article you sent to me, or CK sent to me. YouTube advises channel managers, or sometimes that falls on you, you're the one managing it, not to delete uploaded clips. And it's a really simple thing. For those of you thinking that you really sucked at a video and you're like, oh man, I need to delete it. It's only got like 2 views. Well, YouTube doesn't like that. In fact, it tells you why specifically right here. And I'm going to read it to you for those of you listening in. It says YouTube's recommendation system is designed to connect viewers with content they will likely enjoy and engage with. If a channel frequently deletes videos, it disrupts the viewer's experience and makes it harder for the algorithm to assess the channel's value accurately. What do you think of that, man?
I thought it was so interesting. I immediately grabbed the link and sent it over to my team and said, take note.
Yeah.
Read this and don't do it, So I think it's important to know. I mean, I had no idea.
Yeah. Listen, the only time we've ever deleted videos, one time, and I believe it was last week, because we got banned from monetizing for a while because of some videos that we used, and somebody reported them. Anyways, we found those videos and we deleted those. That was
Do you
the
know
only
do you
time
know
that I,
what do you know what the videos were? Like, what were they about? Why?
yeah, they were mostly, you know how Instagram and TikTok, they love when you duet, or they love when you superimpose and you let the video run and then you talk about it after. YouTube doesn't like that as much. And unless it originates in YouTube. And that was the problem for us.
Hmm.
Yeah, they specifically identified 2 of the videos and said, "Hey, you know what? Those are no good." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they still banned us for a while,
Interesting.
which kind of sucked, man. It kind of
Yeah.
sucked. But last piece to this: YouTube adds improved audience retention data
Mhm.
and streamlined pre-checks. Let's focus on the improved audience retention.
Hmm.
I'm gonna just show you on on one of the videos I did last week, and I'm gonna show you exactly what that looks like. So for those of you listening in, I'm on the back end of YouTube on one video that I got last week. It's good data. This one I turned on the payment option maybe when I had like 12,000 views already, so it was just too late. But 12,600 views, watch time 1,400 hours, almost 300 subscribers. This is important. Two things. One, look at the very bottom what they added. Key moment, key moments for audience retention.
Mm.
It's telling me the most important numbers that I need to watch all the time. Average view duration. My video was 13 minutes and 33 seconds. I had the average person viewed 6 minutes and 40 seconds of it. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And average percentage viewed 49.3%. And this is my favorite part, Jeff. For those of you that are not watching, there's a little graph, and I can scroll through the graph until I find where I lose 50% of my audience. But even then, the majority of my audience never fell below 32%. And that's really big. So those are the numbers you need to be focused on, and that's the data that we have. That's super cool, man. And for those people that are also wondering how to work the chart, it'll tell you it has a little question mark. You can hover over the chart guide, and then it'll tell you. But that's all in the analytics side of your videos. And I think we need to pay attention a little bit more to our analytics. That's why I love that they're adding more things, because it can tell me, hey, Tristan, these videos suck. In fact, you know what Monch told me? Monch is on here. Monch said after last week's run, we did 4 videos, and all four performed pretty well. He came to me and he goes, "Hey, dude, you shouldn't do any other videos but news videos. Can you just stop doing every other video for YouTube?" I'm like, okay, I guess you're right. I look at all the other shit we've done, and it doesn't even come close to the news videos on real estate. So there you go.
Yeah,
Um,
as I'm looking at this too, I was just looking at, I'm not looking at a specific video, but when you go into your back end, I'm just noticing just my top performing videos, and then right there next to it, it's got the average percentage watched, average view rate. I mean, it's really neat, all the data that you really need to be diving into, because it's fascinating. My top 20 videos or so are all shorts, and then I got my
those
first
are
long
good,
form.
man.
Yeah.
I think I'm of the opinion that you should be doing both as long as they coincide. In fact, here's what I tell people that tell me otherwise. I said, look, I would agree with you normally if YouTube didn't go ahead and reward shorts that have to do with longer videos now that they allowed you to attach that longer video in your short, right? So that means you can make you
Yeah.
make a long video, 7, 10 minutes, chop it up. Now you have 5 short videos, and in each one of those 5 short videos, you put a link to the long video, right?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
YouTube had just turned on maybe a month and a half ago.
Well,
That's
what
where
if,
I say to people, go ahead.
well, you mentioned that. So you mentioned taking a long form, chopping it into shorts. What if, and I am genuinely asking this for my own sake, because mine is about a geographical area, and I'm not, we do a little bit of that, is chopping up and make them short, but for posting every single day, it's just all relevant content around the Lake of the Ozarks. So is that is that still in line with what you would suggest to someone who's living in shorts? Just don't have them completely different topics,
Yeah,
basically.
stay within topic. So, dude, for you, all Ozarks. And if you want to chop those up and make them highlights, like you said something amazing or you showed something amazing that you were out in the middle of the lake and it's part of your longer video, dude, I think anyone who's interested in that little short will click on the longer form just to watch what happened, which is the best part of this, man. Like this is
Yeah.
how we drive traffic to our long videos.
Yeah.
And
That's underrated. It's definitely underrated.
yeah, I agree. I agree. All right. We've got an event coming up, virtual event. We haven't done one for a while. Drunk on Social, Social Genius. Tell me about it.
Well, it's going to be on April 11th. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific. So that makes it,
Remember that you have to pee before we start this.
yep. I did, yep. Or have a water bottle underneath your
Oh,
desk.
that's right.
Either one, either one. So 9 to 12, which would be 10 to 1 Mountain, 11 to 2 Central, or noon to 3 Eastern. So the title of the event is Social Media is Changing. Are you? And we are going to have a handful of interviews included. One is going to be a Canva tutorial hosted by my oldest daughter, who is a pro at that platform. We are going to have Trenton, who's many of you know, who is an AI specialist, savant, expert, all of the above. And we're bringing on a real estate agent by the name of Gabby Lee, who's doing some really cool things. And just kind of to pick her brain and see what she's doing that you can all take away. And I think Tristan, obviously, we're going to talk about changes, the changes that are going on, and what you need to be doing to change. And these events are, dude, they're always. I know you and I always walk away from the events and we're like, damn, that was good. And I think we surprise
Yeah.
ourselves sometimes, but it's going to be fun.
I'm looking forward to all of them, of course. But Gabby's got 20,000 followers on Instagram. By the way, all organic, not bot, not fake followers, right? And she's got, I think, almost 6,000 on YouTube. But the thing that I love about her videos is that it's all story format and it engages so quickly, man. And so I'm excited to talk to her probably the most just because you and I use those two platforms and I want to know her strategy and how she's engaging people and what does a turnaround look like for clients too? Because she gets clients from it.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's going to be. So again, let me mention it. It's a late April 11th, from again 9 to 12 Pacific. I'll give you the middle one and say 11 to 2 Central. This is social media is changing. Are you? And we're going to go over the top 5 changes on each major platform, and we are going to have some special guests talking about Canva, AI, and a real live human being who's had a lot of success and what she's doing and how you can emulate it.
Storytelling, storytelling.
Love it.
I like that. All right, buddy. That was a good one.
We'll see you next week.